the first day, but Thomas thought that he would retreat after the first day. Hood would pull his line. I'm getting ahead of myself. But this was obviously a long line. He would make a more concise line on for that second day from Peach Orchard Hill, Franklin Road Academy, Overton High School, to the Stonewall, and then of course to Shies Hill, like a fish hook. About a 3-mile line for the second day fighting. This was a lot longer line for the first day. He said he was waiting on reinforcements for the Trans-Mississippi. He wanted, Sam noted in his book, where's Clay?
Here?
Yeah, Sam correctly noted that he even asked for a demonstration, something up there. Maybe Kirby Smith can make some kind of demonstration or something to maybe keep A.J. Smith's command from coming in here, keep a diversion up. And then Pat Price, Missouri stuff and whatever. But Kirby Smith, I'm not criticizing Smith because I don't know the details of that, but he didn't have transportation. He didn't have, where's your supply line going to come from? Yeah. How are you going to cross the Mississippi River? Yeah. And he didn't get receive any reply from Kirby Smith until I think December 27th. He finally heard from him by December 27th.
He wanted to get some conscripts too, didn't he?
Yeah, but you know, there's conscripts about gone now. And when Bragg went in Kentucky, he didn't get a lot of conscripts. One, because he didn't take Breckinridge up there in the Orphan Brigade. That would have helped. Yeah. But by now, most of the fighting men are about done for. There's not a lot of fighting men left for the Confederacy to get conscripts on. But Hood's plan was to bring Sherman out of Georgia, which we know now is impossible, bring pressure off of Robert E. Lee, and that was viable, and then maybe go into Kentucky, get recruits up there, and then maybe connect with Robert E. Lee. That's a whole dream thing, but it is not a fool's dream as far as if they could have got up here quicker. Yeah. Remember, on the day of the Battle of Franklin, there's only 7,000 men in Nashville, and there were clerks, unprofessional soldiers, great lines, but nobody was there. But their quick concentration, as I warned you out about, the 4th Corps, 23rd Corps, which is Schofield's army, then A.J. Smith's army, as well as more cavalry coming in the Department of the Etowah, James Stedman, who was at Chattanooga. As Stanley said, he couldn't get any work out of him. All he did was drink champagne and make love to the Princess Salam Salam. I think that's a euphemism, a name, fake name for her. But he was a political general, but he would bring his command up here about 6,000 strong too. The largest, with this 4th Corps, come out with a lot of different commands. And this 30,000 were attacking 6,000 with Smiths and Woods and whatever. You know, not good odds, is it, when you're outnumbered 5-1? Yeah, and I think it was foolish, misguided to come up here. He should have moved to Murfreesboro. Hood, after Franklin, should have went to Murfreesboro. Why that? Fortress Rosecrans, 5 miles of supplies. There's only a stretch of it saved now. That's where Milroy was, about 6,000. Hood should have moved that way, and he could have taken them out. And then he wanted Thomas to come out and try to relieve them. Washington would have made them come out there if Hood went to Murfreesboro. Yeah. He would have made them. But Hood came in here hoping and sent some troops to Murfreesboro, hoping Thomas would go out to relieve them, beat him in detail. Thomas never considered leaving here to go to Murfreesboro where Hood's here. No. But once again, Grant was upset, Halleck upset, Lincoln upset that look how close Hood is to Nashville. And where Grant was going to come here, leave Virginia to come here. Why would he leave Virginia? He's commanding all the armies by now. Lincoln is letting him do what he does. And so a lot of psychological and fear, but Hood did not have the men to do this. Hoping for Thomas to make a mistake. He didn't make a mistake the whole war. I don't know anywhere he made a mistake. I don't know anywhere that he lost a battle. Now Sherman, can you name one battle Sherman won? He never lost a campaign. Well, the Chickasaw Bayou, but he never won a battle that I know of. Red Bars says he never won a battle that never lost a campaign. No. But he was not a tactician. He was a strategist and a logistics man, but not a tactician. No. But a hell of a logistics man and a hell of a strategist. Yeah.
Is all this original?
Yes, that's all original right here.
So they've been preserving.
And they're going to build a house here, by the way, too.
That's what I was going to say. They've been preserving it for at least as long as that.
Yeah, and those houses were built in the 60s, 50s. But somehow this was left, and then they were going to build a house here, and they all got together and saved this. It cost about back then, I'm not sure the amount. I think for this little stretch, about 150,000, 200,000, something like that back then. Pretty high, but this was in the 80s. And in the old days, those rifle pits moved on down a little ways. And I know the rifle pits on that side, that's where Johnson's division was, on down that way, and et cetera, et cetera. But this is the only redoubt I can show you. 4 is between a lot of cluster homes, Abbottville, down Hobbs Lane, Abbott Martin Road, and then that Abbottville, Abbottfordsville, whatever like that. But I can't get a bus in there, no way. We'll catch hell, yeah.
Tom, I understand that 4 and 5 redoubts, one reason Smith and the rest could do it is Hood didn't have any infantry or rifle pits in those 2 redoubts.
That's right. And 1, 2, or 3 are pretty close, as I noted. But 4 is going to be about more than a half a mile away, and 5 is going to be, as the crow flies, I think it's pushing a mile. You know what it is on that ridge. That's pushing at least 3/4. So the 4 and 5 couldn't support each other like 1, 2, and 3 could support each other. And so that's why they wham. That's down south and to the west, down and pound, and then rolled them back this way. So Stewart's Corps takes off that way. And I might add, Mary Bradford is noted in General Hood's official report. Why? The Bradford house, well, it's not standing now, but it's just down there. But she went out there, a lady, and was encouraging the Confederates to make a stand, encouraged them, so much that he noted in his official report, Mary Bradford. And Johnson's moved on past her, of course, but that's a hell of a thing. So Mark Cockrell's noted, Mary Bradford's noted. Have you ever heard of a man named William Driver? William Driver. He was the one that named the U.S. flag, Oh Glory, Oh Glory. We're going to hear about William Driver today, too. He's a citizen. On the federal side, he's a captain in the Navy, not military Navy, but as a naval captain most of the war. He resided in Nashville. His 3 sons served in the Confederate Army. One killed at Perryville, and I think another at Chickamauga. The other 2 sons died, and he was a staunch Unionist. They went Confederate. And after the war, that remaining son and his father wouldn't talk to each other. But he was a staunch Unionist, William Driver. And in that hell, that family breakup like that, you can multiply that, Kentucky, 1 trillion times alone. By the way, trivia, what was the first state to have a retirement home for the old veterans, for Confederate veterans? Kentucky was the first state to have a home for the old veterans after the war.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I didn't know that until last week when somebody on the tour noted that to me.
Yeah.
They did them all the states, and Nashville had one too at Hermitage, but Kentucky is the first one. I did not know that until last week, by the way. A little trivia. I'm all full of trivia.
Cemetery's still out there. Everything else is gone.
Tom, what's the range on that gun?
This is a 12-pound Napoleon, I believe. No, it's not.
3-inch ordnance rifle.
3-inch. So as I noted, a 3-inch ordnance rifle, sheltered, 5-degree elevation, hit the top of the flower barrel out at 1,830 yards, 1760s a mile. Yeah, I mean, I put it right in your pocket. Now, 10 degrees is going to go 2,200 yards, not as accurate. 15 degrees, about 2,600 yards, not as accurate. But this is what you want at long range. I want 12-pound Napoleon at about 800 yards. I can hit you with canister and case shot. Case shots with the iron balls inside the cannonball. Shrapnel is powder where they explode pieces everywhere. And of course they had solid shot too, but this is 3-inch. They fire that long cannonball, as we'll call it, or artillery shell, long. They explode on impact. The most accurate gun in the war that I know of is a 3-inch.
It's straight bore too. It's
rifle.
not
No, it's
rifle.
rifle.
It is
not
rifle.
This one is rifle, but it's supposed to be rifle. It's a reproduction. But yeah, they were rifle because they're an artillery shell. We should show you one. Yeah, long one. Yeah, that's what killed Bishop Polk. at Pine Mountain. Went right through his chest, tore out his heart and his lungs. He was walking away, and they separated, and pow. And when the Federals came up there, afterwards they were through Pine Mountain, there's still his hair out there and pieces of his bones out there.
You say at 5-degree elevation, they're at the most accurate.
You hit the top of a flour barrel out at 1,830 yards.
1,830 yards.
1760s a mile. I mean, that put you right in your pocket, Sheldon. Yeah.
What's good strategy on these redoubts? Well, like the survey with the men that he had he not lost all those units, would this have been a good strategy for him to do? Or
It sure would have made it a lot more interesting to have those 7,300 and that command boost there, as well as why would you go to Murfreesboro with Force Command and Bates Division and Sears and Palmer's, have them here. Bates didn't come back in time at the night of the 15th, but it made it a hell of a lot more interesting. Do I think it would have changed the outcome of the battle? No, because you're fighting Thomas. And no, because they're out. There's 75,000 troops in Nashville, 55,000 engaged. Confederates could muster no more about 23,000. And they had reserves ready to go too. So I don't think it would have changed the outcome. It would have been a hell of a lot more interesting. A lot more interesting. A lot more. A lot more. But now I ain't going to change the outcome. Too many men and Thomas you're fighting too. No. Any other questions? Let's say 5 minutes, we'll mount up, okay?
what do you think, Sheldon?
I think it's pretty good. I never realized Nashville was such a big
What I say, I've been on that.
It might have been pretty as far as playground, though.
See, there's really long. They had the, time and grave and all that.
My camera can't read that. When I first started the computer, and they go in and post it like that. I didn't like it.
I suppose it can go to Redoubt. Hold on.
We're in Atlanta campaign. Sacred Gap, Dub Gap, and Dallas, New Hope, and such, Atlanta.